There are several interesting stories about the house barn. The one about the windows is kind of special. We didn't know for sure what we were going to do about enclosing the building, but we had read and people had told us that they would have had large windows in the south part of the building because it would let in the sun and give them some warmth, and it was light for their living. And so we were trying to figure out how to do that, and at that time we had just had a flood. I think it was the flood of 93. Anyway, it was one of those 100-year floods that comes every 10 years. And the FEMA had come in and condemned an industrial building down along the river. And when they took it down, it had windows that were, we thought, just 4 panes of glass. But when they took it down, they discovered that the windows were big windows like this with many panes of glass. And so we just brought them up here and put them in. It didn't cost us a thing. So that was one of the things that we got that was so significant and so helpful to us. Many things have happened. I can tell you a lot of things that I call coincidences that are not really coincidences. That was one of them. Another was when we got the abstract for this building. It was built in 1660 by a man named Klaus Toms. When we were cleaning out the farmstead, the Liedhassler farmstead, in the barn, underneath the windows in the horse stalls, there's a name scratched into the masonry, and the name is F. Toms. So Klaus Toms built this building, and F. Toms did the masonry work on the buildings over there, which I think is pretty significant. I always point my finger up like this when I tell those stories, and I had a little group from Sioux City, and they were following me around very closely, and the one little lady, about up to my shoulder, just clamped herself to my hip and followed everything I said, just listened to absolutely everything. And finally, she grabbed hold of my sleeve and she shook my sleeve and she said, "Do you know who you're talking about when you do that?" And I said, "Yes, I do." I said, "I believe God takes care of this place and always will." And she said, "Well, if you didn't know, I was going to tell you." So you have to be careful what you say to tourists because they listen. Unlike the kids I substitute for at school. Anyway, some of the other interesting things, Klaus Hoffman, when he came over, he and his mother came after we got it all back up. And he came in, we met him out here. It was sort of early evening. We met him out here, and he said, we talked to him first, and then I said, "Is your mother with you?" And he said, "Yes, she is." And I said, "Would she like to come in?" And he said, "Well, she needs a few minutes in the car." He said, "She's crying." And I said, "Oh, have we done something?" He said, No. He said, "It's because she's so glad to see the building standing again in Iowa." I thought that was pretty significant. He brought us the etched glass that says Germany 1660 and America 1999, and in the center of that piece you can see his initials, the C and the H. If you stand on this side of it, you can look up and see the C and the H. If you stand on the other side of it, you can look up and see the C and the H going the other way. So that was pretty significant. Another thing that's kind of interesting is the crest for the town that this building came from. It came from the city of Klein-Offenseth, Spareshub in Germany. And that town has a rose business. They raise roses that they sell all over the world. They ship them all over the world. And the crest of that town has a rose in the middle, and around it, it has our house barn. I don't think we have it in here right now, but anyway, so their crest includes this. If you look at the south part of this building, their crest has this picture portrayed on it. So that was another kind of important thing for us. These doors that you see here, the green doors, are original to the building. Lots of things that we know about the building, we kind of learned as we went along. Nobody came and told us a story exactly, we just kind of absorbed a lot of it. So I think if you look around the building and around the landscaping around the outside of the building, you can see that we take care of it. I think, I don't mean to be disrespectful of anybody else, but I think Germans are pretty good at the clean and neat and that kind of thing. So our landscaping, the outside of this place looks very, very nice, and that's where we keep it. We have lots of visitors come through. We have young kids who come through for school tours, and we're so proud to be able to show it off.